Mic up and Wednesday on. Here we go. The show is on. Virtual happy hour. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Let's roll it. Yes, a little stop start there because my earpiece kind of fell out, and what are you gonna do? It's Wednesday, right? I think it's Wednesday. Most of the day I thought it was Tuesday, which Monday I thought it was March 22nd. I don't know. Anyway, hope you're doing well today. Checking in to see who is out there with a drill. Thumbs up. It means you are hearing, seeing all the good stuff. I think, hope. I got audio. Let me just kind of listen to myself here, make sure I got me. Yep, I got me. So good. Oh, let's see here. Let's bring this down. And hope you guys are doing well on your Wednesday. Got your cold beverage or whatever. Not terrible here today. A little off and on overcast. We are looking at day number 132. This is all began, and 91 degrees was the high in DFW today. August night. It's supposed to get really warm this weekend. I mean, 98 heat index in the low 100s Fahrenheit. But that being said, only a couple of days so far. We've been triple digits. I think it was just officially 2, maybe 1. And that was a couple of weeks ago. I got to tell you, this morning, the workout was so nice. A little overcast, a little humid, but for the most part, a little breezy. I almost had to wear long sleeves to work up a sweat. That's how the day began for me. So speaking of folks who do not sweat because she's calm, cool, and collected, we go to Indiana to my lovely and talented mom who is joining us there. You never sweat, Mom. You're always calm, cool, and collected. What's going on?
Oh, that's what's going on.
Well, I got it's Wine Cam as well. I renamed it Wine Cam. Going to see Ken out there as well. Yeah, I renamed it to Wine Cam instead of Mom Cam.
Well, I just want to make sure we got it right here.
You know, I thought was pretty much spot on to know that that's probably what the case was. So all good.
Well, when 99% of your birthday gifts are related to wine or wine, then you realize you are a problem child. So
yeah, that might be either A, you have a future date in your history with a long stay in a facility that not for the aged but for the dependent, or you just like to have a lot of fun. Either way, I think you're okay, Mom. You're okay at B. I think you're fine.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, I thought today. Well, yesterday was kind of calm. And I had a really busy 5 days before that. And so I thought, well, okay, this is going to be a great week. Well, all of a sudden I've got Zoom meetings, I've got meetings. And so anyway, so I went to a meeting, and it was good to be in a meeting that I could see their eyeballs and their bodies without having to have. And I was in, it's a really cool building. One of the person who's doing our fundraiser this year, she works for a company called Heritage Financial. They have their offices in a historical building that was the YMCA of Elkhart. And it's got, oh my goodness, beautiful mission furniture. Everything's original. It is. So we had our meeting in the founder's office. He's now deceased, and it was just 3 of us. So it was not hard to social distance. So that started my day. And then I had some birthday stuff to catch up with, and some gifts I needed to get, and then I stopped at one of my restaurants, the Vine, and had dinner, and I thought of you because I had sweet and spicy salmon.
Huh?
And it was pretty damn good. It was
like grilled, like a fillet grilled or something like that.
Well, it was a huge piece. No, I think I don't know what he did with it. it was probably the best salmon I've had in a while. And that's about we get a lot of salmon up here. And it was I don't know what he did to it. The top was kind of black, blackened, and it was and the vegetables on the vegetables on the side were incredible. They were little mini corns, and little green beans that are still in the pods, and it was great.
Right.
Of course, I had a lavender martini,
Mm-hmm.
Kind of on that side.
and I had a glass of New Zealand
It's
Sauvignon Blanc.
hammer.
Oh, John, look who's there!
How about that, Mom?
How about that? Look at
Yeah.
her.
How about that?
Yeah, I guess I could probably unplug this so you guys could hear. So yeah, how about that? We have visitors.
So, oh, good. Well, I'm glad
They went
to see her.
shopping.
You've been shopping.
Oh, hold on, let me bring this down so you guys can all be seen there.
There we go.
There we go. There we go. There you go, y'all. Yeah,
Shopping for what?
I don't know. They got back from shopping. What did you guys go buy?
She got some
I got some
pants and
stuff
shirts.
for teaching in school and stuff like that.
I still think it would be the most. I think it'd be the most hysterical thing if Bennett ends up at Tech and you have him for a teacher.
I would love to have him like that.
Well, she does know what teacher she's going to be working with, so we'll just have to make sure that he gets that teacher.
Well, I don't think. Well, from what I understand, I don't think he's going off this semester.
No, it's the spring.
Spring.
Not till spring, maybe. So she gets
She'll start her classes in the spring.
Yeah, so we'll have it all corralled then.
Yeah. So what is Gay Marie got in her paws there? She's all loaded up.
We were cleaning out the cabinet under her sink, and this is stuff I have to throw away.
What is that?
It's just stuff to throw away. It's like Cottonelle containers that somehow got saved, and it's just trash.
Hey, maybe it's saving the environment.
Yeah,
I have no
throw
idea.
it away. I need to empty his trash because his trash overflows, and unless the trash fairy comes, nothing happens to it.
Yeah, there's I've hired her.
I think their GMVW is the trash fairy.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
And the trash.
So
She
how's
does
it
it.
going, Joy Mom?
Good. How are you?
I'm better than average and meaner than most.
Easy, babe.
Mom,
sorry.
You're gonna knock stuff
also
over.
completely unrelated. I want that exact mixer right there.
Oh, this?
I'm looking at the same exact one.
We're talking about our audio equipment.
Yep.
Oh, I thought mixer. I was going to send her a Sunbeam mixer if she needed that, but I guess
No,
she doesn't.
not that kind of mixer, Mom.
No.
Okay.
No, not to make frozen concoctions. I believe they actually have a frozen concoction machine. Don't you guys have one in your place out there?
We do have a blender.
Yeah. You got.
Well, I got a new thing at the casino on Saturday. It was
jackpot?
It was a slushy maker. Does she need
Slushy
a slushy
maker?
maker? It's
That'd be
baby
cool.
blue color.
Alright.
It's kind of funky looking.
That would be very cool.
Well, you know what? Hey, you could come shop in my garage and you'd probably find lots of shit. I'm sorry, did I say that?
She's gotten from the casinos. She's like a mini little mini mall in the garage.
I do. Well, and when we had the Council on Aging used to have a program called. But right now we're about 60 to 70 people would show up. It's called Life Enrichment, and sometimes they played bingo, and so I would send them some of my stuff.
Oh, bingo prizes, sure.
And they would fight over who was going to win the prize for the bingo.
Well, hey.
Anyway, but and then I've given some away and whatever. But anyway, so life is good. So I was just telling Danny I had salmon that was out of this world at my restaurant, The Vine, and I went there to take a gift to the owner, who she and I share July the 21st as birthdays. Well, when I was there last week, she went down into her office, which is in a basement, and she said, I've got work to do. In a little bit, she showed up with this package, and it was two beautiful etched. I'm sure she got them from one of her liquor dealers, like a whiskey sour glass and gold rim. It's two of them. And I said, why did you do that? Because we share a birthday. So today I got her a candle from my guys, the Garber, the boys, and it's in a tin. It's a pricey candle. And and I hit a jackpot. So I took it to her today, and so I ate. So it's a metal tin. The candles are called, they're a company called Volupsa. Oh, they're pricey, but oh my
He's
goodness.
not a candle guy.
I had no idea what
You lost him at hello.
I think you're speaking Mandarin. I'm not really sure.
Well, but anyway, it's in a metal tin, has a lid. So she's going to see her daughter up in Minnesota or Wisconsin or somewhere, and so she's going to take it to put in the hotel. I went, okay, that sounds like a plan to me. So anyway, so yeah,
Well, right.
yeah. So then one of my young friends, one of my adopted kids, today is his birthday, and I stopped and got him a gift card at Artisan, and then somebody that spoke, Dr. Mark Hardy, that spoke at our board retreat, I got him a gift certificate to Artisan. So bye, Joy.
See y'all.
Bye.
See ya. Well, that sounds like a good time, Mom.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to spread the love. So see, I spread some spices your way. That spread.
Yes, good. Yes, and we haven't had a chance. Like I told you on Monday, we had a chance to use. Well, see, yesterday we did. I don't know what we did yesterday, but oh yeah, we ordered Chicken Express. But Monday, when I did the chicken sandwiches, I did not use a Monday, or did I? No, I did use a couple of Monday because I had to make spicy chicken strips for us and kind of milder for Caroline. So I did use a little of that on Monday. So
yeah. Well, anyway, so that's been my day. I had a meeting at 2, and then in the morning I have another meeting at 10. So we're gearing up for our virtual radio fundraiser, yada yada yada, which is going to be in October. But you've got to plan ahead. So there you go.
Sure.
So anyway, and that's about all I got to tell. There's not much else.
Well, there you go. Well, that's a lot of stuff to tell the world. That's awesome.
Well, I guess. Who knows? So I will get in. I'll see you on the other side.
All right. Love you, Mom. See you.
You tell my other son, Kevin, to get his ass on the
well, remember they had a bit of a we had a busy day yesterday because the Saints were back home, but lost one of their pups on Monday.
I know. I saw that. I was sad about that. I'm sorry about that.
So all good. All right. Love you, Mom. Be good.
Okay. Bye now.
See ya. There we go. That's Mom Cam right there from Indiana. Somebody asked me the other day, where in Indiana? And just to quickly clarify where that is, many moons ago, back in the latter part of the 80s, 88-ish, 89-ish, folks moved to Indiana back in the day, and it's Elkhart, Indiana, which is east-west off of, the east-west Indiana toll road runs from basically Chicago to Cleveland. Actually 80 runs dang near to State College, basically, to Pennsylvania, comes out the other side of Pennsylvania in New York. I mean, you could actually take straight across and you'd wind up outside of New York City. But anyway, look at Indiana, the far northern little sliver that borders the state of Michigan. South Bend and Elkhart are about 15, 18 miles apart, something like that. And they're right there, about 90 miles or so from Chicago, 60 miles from the suburbs of Chicago, the south suburbs. So it's very, very close, maybe 2.5 hours or so, maybe 3 hours the most from Detroit, 3 hours from Cleveland. Pretty good location. Maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours down to Indy. I think it's about 3 hours in Indy. I think maybe 3 hours in Indy. But so it's a good location for a lot of things, different directions. So that's where they are, and that's where Mom joins us from today. All right, what is going on with you folks? I noticed this today. Now, I've always wondered if this happened, and I saw this online, which means it's got to be true. Apparently, a family was vacationing in Rome, in Italy, and I've always wondered, because I mean, especially the reason I get this, you remember the scene from The Hangover, where they're at Caesar's Palace in Vegas, and the character Alan asks, is this the real Caesar's Palace? And that anyway, and he jumps and there's swims in the fountain, all that. Anyway, I've always thought when I went to Caesar's that I wonder, this is an easy replica of Rome, because if somebody was to break something like a phone or a bathtub or whatever, you wouldn't be breaking an artifact, right? You wouldn't be breaking history. History was not going to go down to doom because some tourist broke something, right? Well, I've done enough tourist stuff, and enough places I've been to that are old. The Alamo, maybe the oldest place I've probably been, maybe more than that. I'm trying to think where else. But long and the short of it, this family goes to Rome, and apparently they were taking pictures. This is what we do now. We do selfies, we do the sticks, we do, cool pictures, maybe TikToks, whatever we do with our devices. And I guess we do them in museums as well. And apparently in this museum, and I got to find the actual museum for you, so I kind of won't sound like so crazy what I'm telling you. But apparently, and the headline reads, which caught my attention, and it's funny how this works because we were doing a lot of Rome research back in the spring, and Caroline was there, and so I get Rome stories all the time. Tourist snaps the toes off 19th century statue while posing for photo. And I always thought that it was, if you're at Caesar's Palace or the Luxor in Vegas or whatever hotel that was built like old Paris or whatever, you could tear stuff up and it'd be okay because it's just a replica. But what happens when people actually tear stuff up that's not a replica? Well, apparently, and there's a picture of this, and I wish I could put it online. I don't have, the photo's not real good, but there's a picture of this guy, and he's laying there on this ceramic sculptured couch with a statue, laying there like this, kind of doing the old, he's laying there like the statue's laying. And apparently, during the picture process, he clips off the toes on accident and causes what does it say here? It caused it's a 200-year-old plaster model, and was damaged. This is back on the 31st in northern. Actually, it wasn't in Rome. It was in northern Italy in the Gipposecca Museum in Posagano, northern Italy. But apparently, the man is no name identified yet, but it was caught in surveillance camera jumping up onto the statue's base to get a picture of the maneuver, and inadvertently snapped off the statue's toes. That's why we have surveillance cameras. That's not good for business. As the wife walks on the set, not sure what she's doing with a bag in her hand, apparently trash duty. So while I bring her in, and I don't know if she heard the entire story there, but
about the guy.
So have you ever thought, I always thought that going to Vegas, you're pretty much okay, because what you wouldn't tear much up, because it's like going to Six Flags. You like when you go to Six Flags over Texas, for example, has 6 distinct flags that rule Texas, and each area of Six Flags amusement park is in that. Turn your volume down, please.
I wonder what they're going to do with the Old South.
Well, that's not the question. Turn your volume down because it's getting on. There you go. You've got what area is Mexico, one's Spain, one's France, whatever. And you'd walk in these little areas of Six Flags, and it was a replica of that place, right? And you kind of felt like for a moment, oh, it's kind of cool. I'm in Spain for a few minutes, then I go to Mexico, and it's USA. Of course, back in the day they had the Old South. I think they've changed it. I don't know, but whatever.
But it was a flag.
But there was, and there was a antebellum stuff. Anyway, you kind of walk through. Well, anyway, my thinking was always when I go to Vegas, I go, especially at Caesars, I'd wonder, this is kind of cool. It all looks exactly like the old days, but it's not, and tourists probably tear the crap out of it. But what happens when a tourist actually tears the crap out of a statue? And that's what I'm saying. this guy, at what point did he think? At what point did he think it was cool to lay back at a Roman museum or Italian museum in northern Italy and do a pose, and then oops, oh yeah, there go the toes.
How much does that cost?
I don't know. It's a 200-year-old sculpture. Granted, it's not like it was from Nero's time, but it was. What do you think, bud? What do you think? There we go, folks. There he is, the dog. It's a Max Cam, I guess. I should probably put that up because he is.
Max Cam.
Yep.
You go in with Mama.
He's been pretty good today. He's been pretty much watching and hanging out with me, barking at the mail person.
Did you bark Parque de Mayo.
I don't know if it was a male man or male woman, but he was.
Or did you get a treat from Sissy?
We got a nice visit today too, so which is all good. Let's see. Elkhart is the RV capital of the world. Yes. And Harold, good morning, mate. Hope you're doing well. I hope they got the borders still closed there for Western Australia. Yeah, and then Harold says hello to you too. How about that?
I saw Harold's new little
Facebook
Bitmoji.
Yeah,
Well done.
Yeah. Yes, and
Yeah,
hello to
good.
yes. Everybody's saying hello today. All good, but I don't know why that short story. There's the Bitmoji right there. There it is. Isn't that great?
I know, it's so cute.
It's awesome. It
looks like him.
Yeah, it does.
You did a good job.
I saw it this morning. Well, you see mine. It's right
up at
there.
the top.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get a bigger one than that. That's the logo one. Well, you can see it. It's right here. Here he is right here in this one right here. There he is. That's mine.
He's so cute.
That's the Christmas. That's the Christmas. The summer version right there.
Cruise ship.
Yeah, cruise version of the sunny's on. But yes,
with the drink, the Mai Tai.
Yeah, the Mai Tai. Yes.
Going down. Yeah.
But I don't know why that story stuck out to me, but I think because I've always wondered. I've never heard of a story where tourist ruins artifacts.
I haven't heard of it from a tourist, but I did see one point. There was it went around the internet several years ago that a kid on a field trip to a museum damaged something at the museum, and people were saying, like, this kid should be held liable, and the parents were pitching a fit. And it's like, how do you?
I'm sure it happens, and I know that I've been over in Fort Worth. They have the Kimball. I've been there a couple times.
How much stuff did you ruin?
And didn't ruin anything. But when you and I, we went to the Modern in New York last spring, a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that place is very. You've got. I don't know.
It's very handy.
It's very close. I mean, you're. There's no.
Well, and even some of the stuff's interactive. You can touch it.
There's some stuff, but there are also some things that aren't interactive that are right there. There's a couple of cars in the middle of the
trip. You'd be in them.
Yeah, there was some displays that had some cars, and there was some places that had stuff against the wall that were. Yeah. I mean, you could touch it if you wanted to, but
from the ceiling, you could literally go up and go. Boom.
But at what point? I mean, I never felt like anybody was.
Because people don't have proper decorum. Like, why was this schmuck laying on our statue?
When we went to there was a back room there, a couple back rooms where they were doing some of the art exhibit, the actual badass paintings that people stare at forever and go, ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
What does that mean?
Well, people stare at them and just kind of go, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Well, there were people in kind of guards that were I won't say guards. They were kind of. But they weren't like in riot gear. They were just in a blazer, and they had a little earpiece. And they were kind of keeping watch. But every room had someone sort of keeping watch. But there was no one. I didn't feel like anybody was. But I guess there's always one in the bunch. But I just thought it was.
No, but my only to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. I mean, maybe he grew up someplace like, I don't know, like in State College, everybody sits on the lion. Like it's a thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Well, were there ropes that cordoned this thing off and he hopped over?
No, the picture I saw, it was
from laying down.
Yeah, it was. I was just like, I don't know why that struck me as so odd. I guess because.
Like why?
I guess because I'd watched the thing last week and I.
What happens in Vegas?
No, it was I was talking about Vegas, but I was watching a biblical thing about archaeology in both the Old and New Testament, the Bible, and some of these finds. And one of the guys was talking about Pompeii and how. And we were going to go to Pompeii. We didn't get to go to Italy, but we were going to go to Pompeii. And the thing that really strikes me is how the volcano hit and how there's actual 2 and 3 story buildings still standing from that time. And that amazes me. And the fact that somebody was going to, on a 200-year-old statue, just kick back and whatever.
It's got to be over 200, you think?
It was 200 and some odd years. I don't know exactly what it was, but anyway, but that was kind of. So what's going on in your world today? You had, you guys went shopping and then we
had to run outside quickly because I had a 4:00 Zoom with my McDonald's week officers. So, but that happened. So that was good. We got shopping for just more. I mean, we did a lot of this last summer, but we needed to add to it. And everything was on sale at Old Navy, so it was like buy one get one free pair of pants, and all the shirts were 40% off.
I should have gone with. I got so much stuff to do. I could have gone to the Fat Man store and get a belt.
Oh, I could have gone. I was right there.
Mm.
I love going in that place. It smells so
The
good.
Fat Man store sounds where I go to get my clothes.
You need to
for
stay away from that place.
fat folks. Actually, it's a really good store.
No, it's expensive. It's nice.
DXL is a really good store. And the good thing about being a fat kid is that if you go like to the normal stores with the normal kids, the non-husky kids shop, they all have the same stuff. But the fat kid store has the same brands, but the fat kid versions are often slightly different prints. So you have a much better chance of not wearing the exact same thing some skinny person wears. So a skinny person has to wear, like, say a skinny person gets a plaid shirt and all the skinny people have the same plaid shirt from that brand. Well, the fat version usually a little different and it's a little different plaid. Thus, that's the one advantage of being a fatty. So you get to be, when you go to the Fat Man shop, you can do that.
I can't go to the Fat Man shop because I'm not a
No. But anyway, I need the belt because just needed one anyway.
Well,
to see Mike.
Why you need a belt?
Was I'm shrunk a little bit in the waist, not a lot, but just a little bit.
There are no more loops. Like we put his belt on the other day. It was like there's no. You need a hole. You need 2 more holes. And his belt doesn't fit.
Still not used to this whole NBA during the daytime. It's driving me crazy because.
Oh, you get notifications.
Well, I just got to notice the Spurs were playing, and I didn't.
Really?
Game's already over. I mean, the game's over at 5 o'clock.
5:30?
Yeah, it's over at 5. It's 5 o'clock. They lost the McNuggets, and that's not good if you're trying.
Big news today. Caroline has a friend.
Okay, well, that's probably not what she wanted us to talk about, but
I do. I like it.
Okay, go ahead.
She's got a fella on the hook.
So
nice.
Yes, panic buying right now. I don't know if it's panic
Really?
buying. Well, a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
The only thing, we were at Target yesterday getting school supplies because Caroline goes back to college on Saturday. And she just wanted to get a couple of things, and it's cheaper than the bookstore at school. They overprice everything. So I did some of the grocery shopping there, and they were kind of picked over, and they had limited, like you couldn't buy but one thing of paper towels. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Tom Thumb, I can buy as many as I want.
I saw this morning on the news,
same with bread,
the national news, that they're having several large retail stores are running out of certain school supplies. Like I think one of them was crayons for little kids because they're having a hard time. It's like a lot of things. A lot of things were having a hard time getting shipped. They weren't shipped. The factories weren't working. Whatever. Crayons there was a list of supplies that were a national shortage. Not like told, but they're having a hard, and it's not uncommon for these stores to have them to be picked over. It's not uncommon at all. These people are getting their back to school shopping done, and then they got the school. The old, you guys remember this? When you're younger, they had the school list they give you, and you had to go hit the school list at Target or whatever. And there are actually things they're missing.
They have the list right there for you, depending on where you go to school, which is kind of cool.
Mom talking about Michelangelo.
He's well done. David. Yeah.
Now, don't want somebody grabbing that and have that thing break off. That'd be a real problem for business.
You're sitting there holding this giant concrete dong in your hand. Like, what? I don't know. What else are you going to
just say just the thing and not have to make some kind of slanderous comment like that?
Oh, no. What else are you going to call it?
Jamie, Christmas. What's wrong with you?
Well,
no, not really. I mean, I don't really want to get muted off the airwaves because my wife. I know, but can we just use better words? This is the FCC come looking for me, and I'm going to be not going to have a broadcast license. Stop! What's wrong with you? I mean, I'd like to have my wife sort of present herself as a lady and not like she just came rolling in from the best little whorehouse in Texas or whatever. I mean, come on, what's wrong with you?
I'm a lady. I've given nothing off that says that I'm not.
All right, whatever. So yes,
your mom brought it up.
I know. Well, exactly. There
you go.
So yes, good news.
You got me in
last night I went to bed early and I'm laying there and I didn't get up.
I kind of heard something too. That's weird.
Well, I didn't check.
So normally I don't hear if you get up.
No. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, I kind of tossed and turned, but I wasn't not sleeping. I wasn't restless. But a couple of times for about an hour or so, I kept thinking I was hearing voices a lot in my dream. But whatever I was dreaming in my head was not matching what I was hearing. And I laid there and I'm like,
do you hear voices?
And I didn't say anything at first. And I laid there. Then I thought, God dang it, I heard it again. And I looked and the door was slightly cracked in our bedroom. So I got up. I had to go to the restroom anyway. I've been sleeping for 5 hours, which that's a pretty good start. And I look at Caroline's light. I can usually see her light under her door anyway. It's lit up, so I know she's up. And oftentimes I'll check to see she's up when I make, whatever. But I paused for a moment, and sure enough, I could hear her having a good old time in there. Like
she was giggling,
like it was 7:00 at night. I'm like
talking to her,
and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, and I stopped again. I'm like, did I hear that?
They were singing karaoke.
Yeah, they were having a good old time. It was like
singing karaoke at 4:30.
It sounded like there was actually a good time had by all going on in there. And I'm like going, yeah. I was like going, and I got to be up in 2.5 hours. I'm thinking, it's not good for bed. So anyway, the good news was she was doing good to see your brother.
Singing karaoke with her friend.
Yeah, good to see that she was.
She got off her call at 5 a.m.
Yes, I think it was the dog. Yeah, thanks very much.
That's gotta be small enemy.
Don't be afraid to close the windows.
Hey,
thanks, babe.
Hey.
That guy. Who is he barking at? Great, come here, dude. Come here. Anyway, so yes, we're all excited because Caroline apparently was. I cut her some slack so she was up flirting at 4:30 in the morning, but still, it was.
And we shouldn't say that because there was nothing unsavory going on.
No.
Singing, they were talking and laughing.
But why the door was open in our bedroom? That would have helped.
Yeah, because the cat wasn't in the room when we went to sleep. Yeah, and she doesn't like closed doors and.
No, all good. So anyway, but that was good. So you guys went hit. How was the store today? Everything good?
There were a lot of stuff on sale. She had to get some stuff, to be ready to go to sort of be in professor mode, and so she has a couple of things. We bought her. I mean, we did some serious damage last year. I mean, I think I spent close to $1,000 on our clothes last year. We did not come close to that this year.
Well, good.
But because we got almost everything on sale, and part of that's because I think it is back to school. Anyway, yeah, she got several dress shirts, a couple of pairs of pants, a belt, a jacket, a couple of t-shirts for like casual, and just they're cute. The things with like fun things on the pocket, they're cute.
So what else? Anything else worth reporting? You were seemed like you're all giddy last night.
No, I wasn't giddy. I was just talking to a colleague about sort of frustration of just communication frustration, but I feel a lot better because I talked to my boss this morning and kind of got the lowdown and as much as a panic mode as I'm in about what things are going to look like. I mean, the way that he made it sound was just there's no need to panic. I mean, we're all going to basically wing it. Be prepared for my class. So I'm going to be prepared for my classes, and then all the nitty gritty stuff, the little things that we need to have done, like as class sponsor, I'm just not going to stress about it because everything's just going to, he said, everything's just going to move a lot slower. Just don't worry about it. And I felt a lot better after I got off the phone with him. So that's good.
Well, that's good. So, yeah, it's been, it's.
I had a great bike ride today. I almost went over to Chris and Annie's because I was down there. I went all the way to Northwest Highway and I came back down and I turned on Park and I thought I was going to go down Park to cross over Park to get back in their neighborhood. But Park Lane was literally shut down between Holloway and Inwood. They were trimming trees or something. And I was like, I guess the universe doesn't want me to go stay out of Chris and Annie, but I almost biked over there.
Oh, man, it all worked out for you then, didn't it?
I guess.
You guess.
Oh, we had the bathroom guys here today.
Yeah, it was when I'm trying to do a live show. And we got like 9 people. Everything I've done today live has been like a circus.
It's a busy day.
I understand that, but I do the same routine every Wednesday.
No, just this year.
So no, I still would have done it. If I'd have been at the ballpark, I'd have done the same thing.
But you wouldn't have had us in the middle of everything at the ballpark.
No. So we're I don't know if this is going to happen because finances and between you, me, and the walls, if it's a chance to do something like to go somewhere or to shower somewhere, I'm going to choose to go somewhere over the shower. Although
you bitch about that shower.
I know, but we're looking at possibly redoing our bathroom. Possibly, we haven't. The trick of the whole thing is, and I didn't know all this because
money, people
Well, the trick of the whole redesign of the bathroom is, and I didn't realize this. There's little things like these little overhangs.
Fur downs.
I knew they were there, but I don't really notice them there until all of a sudden I realize, oh,
You don't notice trash on the.
that's why we can't do this because and it would look so much bigger if that wasn't there. I mean, you don't really think about it until you sit there and start realizing, okay, if you want to do this, that's got to come out. And I'm thinking, well, where the hell did that come from? And
when we were talking about just making our bathtub into a shower, making it just a shower, not a shower or bath, it's a much more complicated issue.
Yeah, it's
because you really have to blow up the whole thing.
No, it is.
And we're looking at making the cabinet a little bit longer to put 2 sinks on it instead of 1 because we're kind of crowded in there. We're taking a wall down, and
so yeah, we're not really sure where we stand there, but
we use it every day.
Pull the trigger. That's what the captain says.
Dude, Curtis.
Pull the trigger. Hey, brother, what's up?
If you'd like to donate some money, surely you could. Keep your kids out of baseball 1 year, Curtis, and pay for our bathroom, right?
Yeah. I will say this to you, Mom, about the whole. My brother's high school football team made it 3 days. I'm convinced now more than ever, and I'm really convinced of this, that what the smaller the operation in sports, the smaller it is, the more successful it's going to be.
Like 6-man
during this COVID thing. No, not like that. Like I was convinced Major League Baseball will be able to pull off this COVID deal, and it's a train wreck. Although the Marlins are back playing, but the Cardinals weren't, and who knows who's next? Blah blah blah.
American Association is playing along.
Again, like I said, let me finish what I'm doing here, Cosell. Let me finish. What I'm saying to you is that I'm convinced now because of that. American Association, where I work, is only using 6 teams playing, real focused in an area is the way to go.
So is basketball doing it right by having everybody in Orlando? Is that what you're talking about?
In hindsight, I think that probably, I hate it. I'm not a big fan of the whole.
Yeah, but at least it gets it done.
But I think that's the best way to sort of ring in some of the nonsense. I mean, if you're going to, yeah, Cap says, I'll give advice. There you go. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
I'll take that too.
Yeah,
as long as it's free.
But I think that's, and I guess this all came up, just thinking about this morning, the Big 12 came out with the whole +1 games. So I'm going to play the 9 games plus the 1, 10 games. 25% capacity, it looks like, for the University of Texas, Texas Tech. Probably, I'm assuming the private schools will be that way. Now, Texas A&M, the Southeastern Conference, is going to go 50% capacity, but for the University of Texas, 25%, I believe, was.
It's going to be an empty stadium.
I think that was 25,000. For Tech, it was 15,000. And here's the tricky part about it, is that Tech's got 22,000 season ticket holders, and you got another. If you have campus open with students on campus, I'm using Texas Tech as an example. You've got 22,000 season ticket holders. You've got 30 some odd thousand students
with tickets,
and you've only got. And so, how many students can go? Part of the fees they pay, their student activity fee, is the sports package. So what do? So it's a real mess. And I think what you're going to see. I think the NFL is probably going to be the one that's going to be the leader of this whole deal. They're just going to go forward, no fans at all this fall, at least the halfway point. Major League Baseball's done it. What Major League Baseball didn't do right is they did it with playing in your home cities with the thought that maybe we'll be able to eventually get fans in there by August. That was wishful thinking. They probably would have better off doing the whole bubble thing. And I think football is going to do what Major League Baseball did, but do it. And then where it's different for football and baseball is baseball, you go on a 8-day road trip or whatever. The Rangers right now are on the West Coast. They're in the same hotel for 8 days. Where in football, you go to play with the Redskins, you're whatever they're called now, the football team in Washington. You go there, you go in the day before the game, you stay one night, you come back. You don't stay 2 or 3 nights in a row and just a business trip. You don't go out partying before the game. If you do, you're probably not very good. You're probably not a very good team. So it's a little different culture. Baseball culture is you have a game, you're over with, you have a beer in the clubhouse, then you go out with the boys, have a beer, have a late dinner. That's the baseball lifestyle. It's a real casual post-game. and you sleep till noon, you go to the ballpark at 4, whatever. That's the way it works. Football's not like that. So I think that's also an advantage. But I think what you're going to see is, and I'm guarantee you're going to see this, no fans at games. And watch for this. This is something that I've read today too. Ryan Hyatt talked about this out in Lubbock.
I was going to say, what's he saying?
This one thing he said earlier, and I agree with him 100%. Watch for this. If you see the words online only, then you're going to see college football. If you see campuses open, student athletes are going to be attending classes on campus. They may start football, but I don't think they'll finish, because we've already seen if we're going to do things like we're doing it now, we've already seen that the Major League Baseball players couldn't stay out of trouble. What makes you think that you're going to be able to find a way for a bunch of college athletes not to intermingle with the general population, the student body in math class or English class, whatever, and not have that thing overtake your locker room? And I think that's what you're going to see. It sucks because I want to be a fan of the stands, but and watching a game with no one in the stands sucks anyway. I think it stinks, especially for football. I can imagine. Football's a game of energy anyway, where baseball, you don't.
Well, there's some energy.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's not
like football.
It's not the same. Only in the playoffs. It's not the same. It's different energy altogether. It's a total. It's like watching. It's like comparing chess to boxing. They're different. They're different energies and different focus levels. Doesn't mean that doesn't take talent, and I love both games, but each one's different. So I think you're going to see, if you see that campuses are open and student athletes are going to class, then I would imagine football doesn't survive. But if you see online learning, I can see right there where the funny thing about it is, think about this. We've had this conversation before. At what point now, when this happens, going down the line, do student athletes become just athletes, and they're just part of the university and making money because they're not really going? How much will the student athlete be taken out of the athlete? Is what's going to happen next. That'll be the next shoe to drop. You're already seeing it a little bit. So we're in a real crazy time now, and I know I got on a tangent there, but I think you're going to see that. I think in the baseball, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier, is that because the American Association was so focused on a small task at hand, and that's where I worry, because college football, all these conferences playing, it could be a real S show. And I think that the one that's going to do it right is going to be the NFL. The NFL have no fans. It'll be a made-for-TV event. They'll probably pipe in fans on the screens, but it doesn't matter. You're still going to watch NFL football regardless, because it's not going to change anything.
Will they have those same kind of sounds piped in like baseball's doing?
Some places do pipe in sounds already.
Like crowd sounds.
Yeah, I mean, in the NFL in the past, it's gone before. It's gone before. There's some places that have been accused of doing that over the years. So
really?
yeah. I don't think it'll be like, it won't be definitely, you're the Superdome in New Orleans where it's just going crazy. They'll have some sound. It won't be like a full throttle 100,000 people crowd at Jerry World, but you're going to have some of that. But again, this is where football is an advantage. Football is a TV game. Baseball is a radio game. They're totally different. Baseball and hockey are totally different games than football as far as how they're presented. In baseball, as a broadcaster, I can tell you, it's a made for TV. Football's a made for TV game. Everything's about it's about your fantasy team, your team, the point spreads, all that stuff. That's all part of it, and you don't really need. I mean, most of your NFL fans don't go to games anyway. I mean, I would say probably 90% of them aren't the games worldwide. Now, we're baseball, because you play so many games, at some point you will attend one baseball game a year if you live in a major league market. Almost every sports fan does. Sometimes they do it all the time, but it's just different. So that's my take, but I look for that. But what are you going to do? What's Penn State going to do?
They're only playing Big Ten. I mean, that's all I know. I don't know what they're doing about fans.
Yeah.
Probably limited, I would imagine.
So will they have a white out? Will they just have one person in the stands in the white T-shirt? How's that going to work?
Just paint all the stands white.
That's
what they'll do.
Yeah, well, anyway. So what are we going to do for dinner tonight?
I think you thawed brats.
Oh, I did thaw brats. Okay. Well, I guess that's exciting. Well, what else is going on? Do you want to shout out anything else?
Let's see. shopping, Caroline, school stuff. That pretty much covers it.
All right. Pretty much covers it.
Empty trash.
All right. Empty trash. Curtis, good to see you, brother. Connie, good to see you.
Say hi to
Mom,
Melanie.
yes, I had a Melanie for us. Todd, good to see you out there, brother. Everybody else said to Harold in Australia. Kim McGee, my great mate in Australia, was there earlier. A long-time mate. All of my mates in Australia. Good to see you guys. Have a great Thursday down under. And, of course, a great rest of your Wednesday here in the U.S. of A. and North America and other points in this part of the hemisphere. Don't forget, if you do, you really want to get bored or you are bored, plenty to see right here. Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. They're all right there. Follow me. I'd love to have you follow me. I'll follow you back. Maybe take me a day or two to get to it, but eventually I will. Appreciate it, Captain. Appreciate it, brother. Hope you guys are doing well, and you guys are the greatest too. We got to catch. It's another thing. That's one more thing about this whole deal is that, and I was telling this to, who was I telling? Oh, Morgan Kalenda, who I work with in Kansas City. She had her birthday this week and her anniversary this week. And they had to be creative. She and her husband had to be creative what they're going to do. They were able to go to a restaurant, but they really, they had to go went to a local winery in Kansas City. It was one of the things she did for her birthday. And for the anniversary, they're going to go to the zoo because they're trying to be creative with things to do. And it's what you got to do these days. And we were talking about this, though, that how much we miss, she and I were talking about this, how much we miss having a dinner or a get-together with mates, just going to a house party or going to a restaurant with friends and several couples or whatever. And dang it, Curtis, we got to get to do it. We all get together, but I keep thinking that sounds like a great thing on paper, but we got to do that. But got to get this thing behind us. As we always say, our goal is to get to be better in the end than we are now when we come out of this deal. Oh, well, by the way, on the YouTube, you can check out the cooking videos, but I don't have the graphic up there, but Broadcaster Can Cook YouTube channel is up. It's a work in progress, but I hope you guys will subscribe to that as well. All right. Yeah, so all going to get together and all hang out at some point real soon. Actually, maybe we can all do some watching those 15,000 fans at Tech games. Should be a lot like the second half was a lot of the games last year. So anyway, glad you guys joined me here. What's this? My mom said that she's gone to. What did you say there, Mom? Let's see. Else people will be empty. Yes. That's weird. That's gonna be weird. I'll tell you what. Let me close with this before I'm going on a tangent here. But last night, the St. Paul Saints returned home to St. Paul, Minnesota. And for you folks that don't know minor league baseball, they are one of the premier minor league operators in the country. They draw their ballpark holds 8,000. They average just under 8,000 a game. It's a hard ticket to get. It's in downtown St. Paul. There's all these cool lofts. Mom's been there. My wife's been there. All kinds of little pubs and restaurants and lofts around. It's a real cool area. A little dog park outside that folks walk their dog. There's a farmer's market across the street and little bands playing. It's just a really cool place. And a great atmosphere. Their show they put on is phenomenal. I've never been to St. Paul when there's been no one there. Even the rainouts, even when it get rain, they still got 4,000 folks sitting in the rain. Last night they opened up their home schedule, finally returned home to St. Paul because they've been playing over in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I didn't recognize it. It was so weird to hear the voices and watch the game and see them doing their thing. There was nobody there. I mean, there were people there. They only allowed 1,000 or I think 1,500 people in the ballpark. And it looked like not a soul was there. And it's the same thing with Indianapolis 500. You watch these big races, it's going to be like that watching a 100,000 seat football stadium with 20,000 people in it. It's going to look like no one's there. It's going to look like that. It's going to look crazy. But yeah, Mom, you're right on about that. But anyway, okay, everybody, virtual hug to everybody. Don't forget to love those next to you. Show them you love them. Tell them you love them. Let's have some empathy as well. And as I keep saying, let's come out of this thing better. I went into it. All right, let's close this thing out. Don't forget, we do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 o'clock Central Daylight Time, 6 a.m. in Western Australia the next day. And again, this virtual happy hour, just a chance to get around, chat, kind of keep up and say hello, howdy, and love you. Love all you guys. Be well. Be good. Let's cue up the close. Let's put it the old. Here we go. Right there. Here we go. Let's close this thing out. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. See you guys on Friday. Have a good one, everybody. Love y'all.